What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why you should buy the Galaxy S10 Plus in 2021. Even going into 2022, this is still going to be a very awesome older flagship phone to pick up. So I want to talk about, first reason is the display. So I like display for reasons that probably won't, make sense to a lot of people, but I really like the wallpaper choices that you get with the S10. As you can see, it's got this double punch hole, and if you're a fan of just browsing wallpapers, I'm constantly just looking for wallpaper switching and stuff like that, you get a lot of fun wallpaper choices with this phone here that will match this little punch hole right here. Something that I really like. So if you're a fan of wallpapers, I thought that was pretty funny. But also, this phone does have a very nice display. It's got a full 1440p display. It's a dynamic AMOLED display, HDR10 plus, and it looks really great. It's also a full 1440p display as well. So it's a full 2K display, so you can watch videos in 2K on YouTube, and everything looks super sharp and high res. And it also has 522 for the PPI, so all the icons and everything look extremely sharp as well. It's a very nice looking display, and also it does have a slight curve to it as well. It's not a super dramatic curve, but with Samsung phones, you have the Samsung Edge on here, so it does kind of make sense. So it's just easier to pull that edge up right there. And yeah, so it kind of makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't make sense on other phones, but I've always thought, it's made sense on Samsung phones since it does have that edge feature. Next has to be the specs on here. So you do have the Snapdragon 855. It is upgradable to Android 11 as well. And you also have the Adreno 640 GPU, micro SD card support, 128 gigs of internal storage, and 8 gigs of RAM. If you guys seen that speed test comparison, this thing does an excellent job with RAM management and also just with loading up applications. It's very fast, very snappy. I rarely notice really any hiccups with this phone. I really haven't noticed any hiccups at all. It's a very fast phone, even when launching games and stuff. And like I said, multitasking is a beast on here. It's able to keep things in memory, and it doesn't start, it doesn't lag all over the place. So I really like that. This is still a strong processor. Not only is it a strong processor just for doing simple tasks, but also gaming performance on here is top notch as well. Be able to play Fortnite, Call of Duty, PUBG at high settings, and it's a really awesome experience. It does a great job. It's not super overheating and stuff like that. It keeps a steady frame rate, so the gaming experience is really nice on here. Some people were talking about the punch hole, but like I said, if you guys hold the phone down and like the downwards where the punch hole is not going to be in the way, then the gaming experience is going to be totally fine. But honestly, guys, once you start using the phone, your eyes will sort of ignore the punch hole and stuff like that. And like I said, if you pick the right wallpaper, you really won't notice it at all most of the time. Number 3 has to be the price. So if we compare the price of this phone to other phones, it does beat a lot of phones in terms of the benchmarks, and really we're comparing it to mid-range phones. It beats a ton of phones. Even if the Galaxy A52, it beats that in benchmarks, and it beats a ton of other phones, the Redmi Note 10 Pro, a lot of the most popular mid-rangers. It will be in terms of power wise, and you can see the price is around $285 to $300, and I'll have that link down below for you guys. But the price on here is awesome, and like I said, it beats a lot of phones in terms of build quality as well. It's a full glass and metal device, and it actually has a full IP68 dust and water resistant. You can definitely get this phone wet. You drop it in some water, rain, whatever. It's not going to break easily. So that is one thing that I really like. And yeah, it just feels like a super solid phone. I think it still looks good as well. Still a very nice looking phone. Does not look old or anything like that. And also, this phone still has a headphone jack. So not a lot of phones still have a headphone jack these days. Well, at least most of the flagship phones that we see nowadays. So it's really nice to still have a powerful phone with a headphone jack. And also, the speakers are still pretty loud on this device as well. And I'll go ahead and play the speakers for you guys max volume so you can hear. This phone also has Dolby Atmos as well, so you get a really crisp and clear sound with the speakers on here. Just awesome sounding speakers. And another thing with this phone as well is the fingerprint scanner is extremely fast on here. On some of the mid-range phones, it could be kind of finicky, but it's literally a tap fingerprint scanner. So it's not one of those that you have to tap and hold. So Samsung did a really good job with the fingerprint scanner on this guy. Just look, it's literally a tap and hold. Extremely fast. And you can also take advantage of face unlock on this phone as well. This would be the camera. So this phone still has pretty competitive cameras at this $300 price point. You have a triple camera setup. It's a 12 megapixel standard, a 12 megapixel telephoto, a 16 megapixel ultra wide, and then a 4K video at 60 frames with a 10 megapixel selfie cam, and then a 10 megapixel wide selfie cam as well, and that also shoots in 4K 60. So basically you're getting some really good shots on here, and you know, I had no issues with the performance on here. Yes, Samsung sort of does like the oversaturated look kind of thing with this phone, but overall I thought the images were pretty clean, very detailed shots on here. Ultra wide was pretty close in the main lens. The telephoto was a really nice addition to have. You get good detail with that as well. So I was really happy with the image quality. I really don't have really, you know, too many complaints here, and I will go ahead and show you guys the video as well. I thought the video was pretty solid too. So overall, just a solid camera in general. Alright, last would be battery life. So this phone, out of, you know, my Galaxy S10 series, of course is going to have the best battery life because it's got the biggest battery. So you guys know I use the S10e a lot, the S10. So this phone, it's nice that this phone really does have pretty much all day battery life. I don't struggle getting through this, you know, getting through a day with this phone as a light user. It's got a 4,100 milliamp battery, 15 watt charging, and then you have your wireless charging as well as your reverse wireless charging. So if you wanted to, you can also, you know, you can charge another device, but you have to be 30%. And also something I didn't mention is that this phone does have a Samsung desktop support and all the bells and whistles like NFC, secured folders, all that stuff. So you have a ton of that little bells and whistle stuff going on here. But yeah, battery life is pretty good on this phone. So overall, the S10 Plus is an extremely solid phone, guys. I still really like this phone. It's got a lot going for it. So be sure to let me know, what do you guys think about the S10 Plus? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.